Hello and welcome. This is the motor, and she is not operational still. So just do not follow the steps the way I just can't believe what I did, because I was simply rushing and trying to record a video in the same time, and but I decided not to buy a new motor. But well, I will probably have to buy a new motor anyways, because I need my scooter to get to work and back, yeah. And but I will try to fix this one at the later stage. When I get parts from, I will have to order parts from China, and hopefully, just maybe, I will get this one fully operational as well. But for the time being, I do not have my scooter, and I will have to spend probably like around 200 euros, $250, something like that, for a new motor. So let's get back to the video. Cut. Okay, so let's get back to the history. So this is the state of the motor, and actually the rotor, after a week, because I left it a bit wet, so all the magnets got rusty again. So at that stage I did know that I will have to probably clean them again, and I did later in the video. But first of all, I tried to remove the gaskets that were supposed to protect the water, protect the water against entering the motor, protect the motor from the environment. So they are made from hard rubber, and I thought that they are in the slit, but they are not, and they are very, very easy to remove. And it did take me a while to figure that out, but they are extremely easy to remove. Don't try to hammer them into the rim. It won't help, but they will pop out easily if you use a screwdriver or some other sort of a tool. So they are easy to remove. When I was done with the gaskets, I decided to get rid of the bearings that were rusty inside with just a bit of a pipe and an axe, because I don't have a hammer. Well, I do have a hammer somewhere, but I lost my beloved hammer a long time ago, and I cannot find not it, but her. Well, hopefully I will get my Mjolnir back soon, so you'll be able to enjoy her in one of the following videos. But anyways, as you can see, again, this is the rust on the magnets, because they were just slightly wet. So you can see that this cover was cleaned, but the magnets are rusty, so I decided to get them clean again. But just have a quick look at the photo of all the new bearings that I got on Amazon for probably like, I got 6 bearings for 20 quid, but you have to remember that there are 2 different bearings. I will write, hopefully you will see it on the screen, the number on both bearing types, and one of them was not weatherized from both sides, just from one side, as you can see the bearing balls inside. Anyway, so this is the hero of the whole story, without the bearings inside and still quite rusty. And this is the stator from the inside of the motor, but even though it looks like a rotor, it is the stator. It is supposed not to move with the wheel. Reasonably clean after a week, because it was not as wet as the hub. So but I decided to clean it anyway. Luckily, a friend of mine was around, and he was visiting me at home, so I used him as a clamp. But you use a proper clamp if you can, yeah. So I did clean the innards of the magnets again. It did take me a while, because they were quite rusty, so they are just ferromagnets, nothing fancy, and they probably, I don't know whether they were plated in the original state, but I did clean the motor the best I could have with the tools that I had at that stage. And you have to be aware that I do not have too many of them. I just have 2 toolboxes with tools, some drill bits and some other stuff that you might be able to watch in some of my other videos. Anyways, I got them more or less sorted. I got rid of the rust, so it was time to get the new bearings in. And this is the crucial stage where I made the mistake. Even though I went upstairs and I checked on the video, because there are two different bearings, as I told you. And there are two different sides, and the axis is thicker on one side than on the other, so it fits only through one of the bearings, not through the other one, for a reason. And I went upstairs. You can see here that the hub inside is much cleaner now, yeah? So I went upstairs and I played the video to be sure where I am loading the bearings, where is going each one of them. And I even measured the holes for the bearings, and they are more or less exactly the same with a vernier calipers. I tested them on the stator, on the axis, to install them properly, yeah, on the motor hubs, on the rotor. I cleaned the gaskets, so they are nice, clean, rubbery, providing good seal to the axis on both sides of the motor. I went outside and I started with the small one. I don't know at what stage I made a mistake, but by mistake I have installed the bearings the other way around. So the big one should have gone into the other hole and the small one should go into the other one, yeah. So I just mixed left with right. At that stage the motor was still probably going to be functional. And you can see that I did not have proper tools to get especially the one into the bigger hub with the magnets. But I did my best with the old bearings and some other tools and wrenches, and I got them inside more or less properly. And then I inserted the stator into the motor hub with the magnets, no problems. And then I inserted the other side of the motor, the other hub. At that stage the mistake was already made, because the stator did not fit properly in already, and I thought that I will use the other side and I will use the screws to put it into place, yeah. And simply because I mixed up in a hurry, in a rush, the sides of the motor and stator, I inserted the stator the other way around into the whole setup. What happened then is, well, I installed everything and I thought to myself, it's not gonna be easy to turn because there are so many magnets and stuff, so it is going to turn when I got it onto the scooter. But I thought to myself, yeah, let's try to plug in the pins into the scooter. So I opened the scooter again into the because I don't have the socket yet installed on the motor. I didn't have, so I took the pins and I plugged them into the proper holes of the scooter, and guess what? Nothing, the same error. I installed the stator into the external rotor the other way round, and more or less that's it. Because the motor tried to turn itself a bit, even though the control board with the Hall sensors was squeezed in, all of the Hall sensors simply snapped. And the question is, am I going to find? Probably I will find them on AliExpress, and even though they are glued inside, I will try to get them again onto the stator, and hopefully the next time I will install the proper bearings in their proper places. So as you can see, that's it for the time being. I'm quite sad, but again, I was rushing. The girls were outside, so I had a couple of minutes for myself to get this thing sorted. And yeah, as you can see here on the video, the cables from the sensors are gone. And the question is, am I going to find the exactly same board with same sensors? And am I going to be able to remove the Hall sensors easily without damaging the motor? I don't know. So at this stage, I was so sad that I decided to spend the rest of the day disassembling one of the chairs that are to be thrown away, and to vent my failure and anger. So for the rest of the video, you can just watch me trying to disassemble this cheap tech chair that seems to be quite strong, even though full of rust everywhere. So that's it for today, and hopefully we'll have more parts of this video when I get the motor back and running. Thank you, and see you next time.